Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Subscribe for more interesting discussions. So today I ask, what does power look like when women aren't supposed to have any? So in ancient Rome, politics was brutal, public, and almost entirely male dominated. But there were two women who broke through that system in very different ways. They were Livia Drusilla and Fulvia. One ruled quietly from the shadows, shaping an empire. The other marched with armies and openly challenged Rome's most powerful men. Both were powerful, but only one built something. Livia was born into elite Roman society, the daughter of a senator, raised in politics from the start. She first married Tiberius Claudius Nero and had two sons, including the future Emperor Tiberius. But her rise began when she married Augustus. This wasn't just a marriage, it was a political alliance at the highest level. As Empress, Livia did something remarkable. She became Augustus's most trusted advisor. He consulted her on sensitive decisions, political appointments, and even threats to the regime. But Livia didn't just give advice, she also used information as a weapon, collecting evidence, exposing secrets, and quietly ensuring compliance. This is what we might call redirection and connection based power. Instead of confronting power directly, she guided it. Even her public image was strategic. She dressed modestly. She made clothes by hand. She embodied traditional Roman virtue while quietly reshaping the empire behind the scenes. The philosopher Philo of Alexandria described her as being indulgent towards her husband but severe on herself. It was a recognition that she operated at the highest level. Livia mastered yielding, appearing compliant, redirection, influencing outcomes indirectly, connection building, networks, and loyalty, and emotional discipline. And it worked. After her death, she was deified, becoming Diva Augusta, a divine figure in Roman culture. Meanwhile, Fulvia was described by biographer Celia Schwartz as being more daring and more visible than any of her contemporaries except Cleopatra. Fulvia wielded power through marriage, as women were always under the authority of a man, the pater familias. Fulvia likely came from a wealthy family and married three major political figures, including Mark Antony. But unlike Livia, Fulvia didn't operate quietly. She stepped directly into the battlefield. She influenced Antony's policies, campaigned for him publicly, mobilized his supporters, defended him against attacks from Cicero. Ancient sources even claim she desecrated Cicero's severed head, symbolically attacking his voice by piercing his tongue. These are probably biased viewpoints and Augustan propaganda, but they highlight the perception that Fulvia rejected traditional feminine roles entirely. She didn't yield, she didn't soften her power. She confronted the system head on. In modern terms, her power was direct, visible, force driven, and defiant. But it came at a cost. Her war failed, her political position collapsed, and her death marked the end of her influence. It comes down to how they used power. Livia's approach was based on subtle influence, emotional intelligence, strategic patience, and building alliances. Fulvia's approach was direct, confrontational, based on military force, public dominance, and open defiance. Fulvia rejected the traditional norms of femininity and paid the price. Livia used them as a tool and reshaped Rome. Stated for Livia that, but she, as she surpassed all her sex in other particulars, so also was she superior to them in this, by reason of the pure learning and wisdom which had been implanted in her both by nature and by study, so that having a masculine intellect, she was so sharp sighted and profound that she comprehended what is appreciable only by the intellect, even more than those things which are perceptible by the outward senses, and looked upon the latter as only shadows of the former. Thank you guys. Please like and subscribe for more content.